It's funny how I make a video that's essentially filler, but in the weirdest of ways, yet somehow it can relate to the topic at hand for this video. Funnily enough, the PBSN, the Pignosis Bullshit Network, is very keen on finding good shit to talk about. So, as you all know, he always has a podcast. He starts it off, blah, blah, blah. He wants to make it all about how his opinions are more important, how his days are more important than anyone else's, and that we should actually give a shit. But the thing is, though, is that with Phil, though, he seems to, try to bring in drama because he kind of has a brain cell to know that drama is always going to give him more views, especially when he talks about content creators. But if a content creator has an opinion, oh no, he will not stand by that.
Okay. So I'm trying to think. I covered the Redfall thing. I covered the Street Fighter beta thing. Oh, what's the other story I want to talk about?
You know that he's trying to, grasp for straws for topics to try to keep his audience engaged when he has to constantly go, I don't know what to talk about, guys. Looks at the chat.
The other story I want to talk about is the whole the whole Star Wars Jedi Survivor fiasco. And I have seen some weird stuff. I mean, here's the truth. I should be able right now to outright say what I want to say. But because I have a bunch of stalkerish assholes who come after me for everything I say, they try to cause problems. All right?
Yeah, we're trying to cause problems for you, even though you're the one that's saying said toxic bullshit that's causing problems for everyone else. It's not the fact that we're not allowing you to have an opinion. No, you can have as many opinions as you want, but they could be shitty ones. Like I said, you can have those. The problem with it is how toxic you are when you say said opinions, and you should be like, I'm entitled to have an opinion, but yet you treat everyone in a condescending way. That's the reason why these stalkerish asshole trolls that you seem to call us come after you or make videos about you. Ever think about that, Phil? Of course not. It's all about the money.
Well, fuck those people. Really. I mean, I'm a person who should be able to say whatever I want and be able to criticize things when I see bullshit. And I'm going to do so this morning.
We can do the same thing about you, Phil. If we see something that you're saying is bullshit, we have the right to criticize that too. So essentially, you're just saying like, oh, these people are ruining my life. I can have this, I can have that. No. The freedom of speech thing has a way of kind of fucking you in the ass with it because it has a statute of limitations. You can't say certain things on there because certain people get offended by it. So, long story short, fuck you too, Phil.
I don't care. All right? And please understand, what I'm about to talk about is not trying to start shit with anyone. It's me trying to be transparent and honest with my audience and telling you my real feelings. All right?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. People shouldn't know what your real feelings are. Some feelings are not meant to be exposed to your public audience because they can use that against you. Doesn't matter if it's the detractor community. It could be side scrollers if they bring you back for another interview, which will never happen, or any other content creator that finds you and does a video about you or just talks about you in conversation. Essentially what I'm saying is some things should be left hidden. Don't air your dirty laundry out for the world to see.
So as you know, I keep saying Street Fighter. Star Wars Jedi Survivor has launched and it's a huge mess. On PC, it's nearly unplayable for most people. On console, there's constant frame drops and issues. On PS5, it crashes. On Xbox Series X, the frame rate's all over the place. And it's just not a fun experience when you get to harder parts of the game. And these things that you're supposed to be reacting to, you can't. You're dying. It's like, screw this.
Okay, so the first thing, you saying that the challenging parts and you're dying a lot, that's a skill issue. That's not the game's fault. That's you as the player playing it. Second, you're saying that everyone's having these issues. But it's not everybody. It's like a certain percentage of people are having problems with it. Yes, I will agree. The PC port of Jedi Survivor is god-awful. It is terrible, but they're trying to get that fixed. As for Xbox Series X and PS5, they're working on some errors with that as well, but it's not as common as fucking PC. So you seem to think that, oh, the PC port is bad, then the console version is bad. The last I saw you play in that game, it looked like it ran fine.
Right? Well, for the most part, the internet is in consensus about this, all right? But I've noticed there's a couple people out there, a few content creators in general, who are bigger, who are basically almost like trying to shame people for being honest about their experiences with this game.
Huh, that sounds a little bit ironic, isn't it? You do the same thing. But no, it's not you. Oh no, totally not Darkside Phil.
All right? I saw some things that I shook my head at last night. So I saw this tweet, and I'm going to say it. Too bad. DrDisRespect put out a tweet last night. And he's like, I was just playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor on my super duper high-end PC rig, you know, my $40,000 graphics card and my fucking top-of-the-line configuration. He says, I played it for several hours. I didn't have any performance issues whatsoever. And so people out there, these gamers today are just fucking whiny baby bitches and they need to shut the fuck up. I'm not even kidding. He made a tweet. I paraphrased, but that's essentially what his tweet said.
Huh, I have the tweet right here. You know, editor me, bring it up, please. Thank you, editor me, and I will read it out to you just in case. I played at EA Star Wars Jedi Survivor on max settings all day yesterday. Yeah, certain cutscenes dropped frames, but overall performance and the experience on the game were top notch. People that complain about video games, go get a life. Never said anything about them being crybaby bitches about it. Never said anything about how he's using an expensive rig or an expensive setup for his PC to play the game. Not at all. All he was saying is that people on the internet they take their opinions and they put it in high regard, even though most opinions should not be viewed as such. And all he's saying is, tone it the fuck down. We get it. You don't like the game because it's having problems. Go get a life, essentially. But your case, you want to paint him like an asshole, like you always do, because in reality, you're an asshole. And you want to make everyone else the asshole, and you're just the good guy with an honest heart that cares about his fucking audience. Oh, that's fucking terrible.
Okay? And I'm reading this, and I'm like, it's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable that it's 2023, and we still have content creators that literally don't care what they say online. They feel no air of responsibility. They feel like no moral compass when they say shit like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we get what you're saying. You do the same shit as well. Even shit that you said many years ago, not even at the beginning of your fucking career. You have said things that got you into trouble, and whenever people called you out, you immediately cowered behind I didn't elaborate, or that was my depression. But yet, anytime that they called you out, you immediately played the victim. You always tend to do that every single time. But then you're like, I could say whatever the fuck I want, you know, being condescending, like I said before. When does this whole thing about you being a nice guy, when is that mask going to completely fall off and then people can actually see your true colors? Because I don't think your dents can. Or they're just immune to it by now.
Like, 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Oh God, he's bringing up his fucking past again. Phil, stop faking your history already.
All right? I was a very irresponsible person. I said and did things that caused a lot of drama because I didn't really give a shit. I didn't really realize the impact that my words had on the internet. I didn't realize that with the following that I had as a content creator, that things that I said and did had definitive consequences.
You didn't care that you were using your words as weapons against anyone that had a different opinion than you. Instead, you just went on your little tirade saying that I'm better than you, look at my success, fuck off.
All right? I used to hate on Minecraft all the time. I used to hate on other indie games and stuff all the time. And people would say, why are you so against them? And I'd be very stupid and say things like, oh, you know, they're kiddie games and shit like that. Then years later, I play them like, man, I totally understand why people like these games. Boy, was I ignorant and stupid back then because of dumb shit that I said, right? When I started as a content creator and I was very popular at the beginning there, I was very irresponsible. Now I look back and I'm ashamed of myself.
No, you're still not ashamed of yourself. If you really were, you would have a sincere apology that what you said back in the day, it really affected you and that you could do better, but you still haven't. Blip TV incident, you still have not apologized for it. The Left 4 Dead stream, never apologized for it. Oh, but I did apologize for it, but it's not a real apology. There's no sincerity to it. Also, this whole thing about how you didn't give a shit that, oh, I was popular, I could do whatever I want with it, I'm untouchable. Yeah, you had that mentality for the longest time, and you still have this mentality. As soon as you got those copyright strikes, you thought you were untouchable. But as soon as someone proved your ass wrong, you started cowering for money. Which we all know that it's a big fucking ploy to get more money. And views, so you can get more money.
The things that I said and did, how I conducted myself. Because now I realize there are people who took what I said as like fact and probably went and dumped on things and hated on things unfairly and acted like jerks because they were like, oh, my guy that I look up to on the internet, DSP, said it, so it must be true.
I never looked up to you on the internet, Phil. Whenever I was a subscriber to you, I just thought that the one thing that you said, which was like the PIPA and SOPA bills, I actually agreed with your points. Sure, you repeated yourself, but I agreed with your points none the fucking less. But later on, I saw that you kept uploading multiple videos in my feed when I'm trying to watch someone else's content, and I couldn't find it because your videos were in the way, so I unsubscribed. Not even a year later, the This Is How You Don't Plays came out, and then, whoo boy, brought me right back into your content, but not for the right reasons.
All right, today, it's very simple. I got to pay attention to what I say and do. Because I realize now that there are impactful things that can happen as a result of what you say on the internet.
I think he's saying that because of the copyright strikes. I think that's why he's saying it. Yes, I do believe that they are real, but there's a ploy to them. So he's saying that I gotta be careful what I say, guys, or else I can use my channel forever and I have to go start a legal fund. That's all that this is. That and he's trying to be like, oh, I'm a very sad individual. I've look back at my past mistakes and I feel so terrible. I need to be a better man. When in reality, your best is not good enough, nor is it even any good. It's all fake. Just like your fucking chill positive streams.
If you have a following at all, whether it's a ginormous following or a tiny one, you still have a following. There's people who trust what you do, okay?
I really don't give a shit if people like take my word at face value or if they take it with a grain of salt, because I know at the end of the day, what I am saying could either be as an opinion or as a it's kind of like a documentary type documentary style voice. That's all that this is. And the people that do like my content, I appreciate it.
And you got to be careful. I'll give you an example. Personally, I look at a game like Cult of the Lamb, and it doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, now he's bringing this up because people kept saying play Cult of the Lamb, you would enjoy it. I actually will agree with him that he won't enjoy it. But just continue, Phil. What are you going to say about Cult of the Lamb, which was a pretty good game last year?
It doesn't look like it would be anything interesting to me. I could be completely wrong. But at least when I look at Cult of the Lamb, I say, hey, perfectly fine if you enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is. Go play it. For me personally, it looks like kind of one of those flash-in-the-pan, viral popularity indie games. It doesn't look like anything that I would really enjoy after like a stream or two, and I don't think it's worth my time. But
you said the same thing about Minecraft, Fortnite, Rocket League. You said, and even Multiverses, you said the same thing about all those games, and they were popular, and you just said, oh, people are just doing it because they're lazy. And then you started playing those games, except for Fortnite and Rocket League. You played those games, and you enjoyed them, and you tried making money off of those. Lord knowing, you're probably going to do the same thing with Cult of the Lamb. And yes, to anyone out there that has not played Cult of the Lamb, it's a great game. It's really enjoyable. That's just my personal opinion.
By all means, you go enjoy it if that's your cup of tea, right?
If you enjoy Dead Island 2, shut the fuck up. Your opinion doesn't mean anything to me.
Back in the day, I'd be like, that game's a piece of shit. The only reason anyone would play it is because some streamer played it. It's junk. It's for kids. It's crap. Forget about it.
You said the same thing about Dead Island 2 because reviews said that they were quote-unquote bad. It was a bad game. Oh, it's just outdated and all this random bullshit that you pulled out of your ass. And then went on a rant about Callisto Protocol being a really good game. So, no, you would still do it. Granted, you toned it down with Cult of the Lamb, though, but still, the opinions that you have still carry on to today, just worded differently.
And I'm not gonna say stuff like that anymore because I've grown. I've become way more mature and intelligent in my head. I've become much wiser.
I hit puberty as a content creator. I'm sorry. I had to say it. I'm sorry.
And I realized that words like that can be harmful, right? And stupid, quite frankly. It's just it's an uneducated take. If I've never played the game, how can I crap on it? That'd be pretty stupid. What I can tell you is it doesn't look like it appeals to me. That's why I don't want to play it on my stream. And that's my justification for kind of avoiding the game. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game and I should be shitting on it.
Yet you would do the same thing with Dead Island 2. You're doing the same thing with Jedi Survivor. You're doing it to any game that comes out. But yet, here's the thing I noticed with this, though, Phil. It's not the fact that it's a quote-unquote streamer game. It's because it's an indie title. And in your case, indie titles don't really work out for you. The last time you played an indie title was Midnight Fight Express, which you kind of did on. You just don't care for indie games. You just care about the AAA releases because you think that will give you money. Or any retro game that you think will get you money.
Like I used to a decade ago, okay? But when you're someone the level of DrDisRespect or others, so it wasn't just him. I'm singling him out because he was like the most prominent one that did it. And I don't know if DrDisRespect has some kind of a partnership contract with EA or not. I don't know if money is a factor here or what it is, all right? But it's this simple.
Is money a factor for DrDisRespect because he promoted EA's Star Wars Jedi Survivor? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. And sure, he probably gets the comments saying that he's an asshole for it. But that's the thing with DrDisRespect, though. He is genuinely an asshole. That's who he is portraying at the character of DrDisRespect as. Something that you claim that, oh, the past Phil was a character of mine, but I'm just Philip Burnell. I'm just the guy who created that channel. No, that's the major difference. You're not a character. DrDisRespect is a character. Sure, it's a real person, but that's how he is. That's how his personality is. I mean, comments could prove me wrong. They've done it before, and I appreciate it.
People are not just making this shit up on the internet to get jollies off to destroy Jedi Survivor, all right?
Yet you did the same thing, bitching and complaining about pretty much non-existent lag and input delays. You were bitching about all those things, and yet there was no proof of it. Oh, the frame rate is bad. Looked fine to me. Though I can't dodge. You were dodging just fine, but into the enemy. Bad timing. Oh, there's lag. No lag at all. You come up with multiple excuses for a game to make it look bad and have a contrarian take on things. That's just how you operate.
The game is running horribly for a lot of people. Thousands of people have documented their awful experience. That's why it's being review bombed on Steam. That's why people are posting up memes about it all over the internet. I have video evidence. My first 5 hours, the first 2 hours were choppy. The final hour was so choppy, it was literally unplayable.
No, you just quit the game because of spawn of Ogdu. I know Star Wars name. That's the reason why. You were having a major skill issue on your part, but you tried to say that the game's running bad, even though it wasn't. So, try again, Phil.
Okay.
Quit your fucking head wiggle. I know that's you're trying to be like, yeah, believe me, you're terrible. Look to the left. Pignosis should be working by now.
Literally unplayable. So, my experience is I'm having these issues. And when you see a tweet like that from this guy, it's not just like, well, I had no issues, but I feel sorry for those who are, this sucks. It's no, I had no issues, therefore everyone who's bitching on the internet is just a whiny little bitch and they need to grow up. Like,
editor me, bring back the fucking tweet. That's not what he said at all. All he said was he put it at the max settings, he had some issues with it, but he had no problems with it overall. That's all he said. And yeah, the go get a life part, very subjective of what you could perceive that as. You're perceiving it as, oh, he told me that I was a whiny little bitch for complaining about it. That's on you, Phil. That's your opinion. Go die on that hill somewhere else.
He literally said that in his fucking tweet. It's like, dude, do you not understand with the size of the content creator that you are, with the audience you have, and the attention you bring, when you say shit like that, it's harmful. What you're doing, you're actually hurting the gaming community. All right?
How is he harming the gaming community? He's just stating an opinion. And guess what? Pulled the tweet back up. You see those likes that he has? People actually agree with his opinion. And look at the viewpoint. He has a lot of views on that tweet. It's mostly people either agreeing with him, disagreeing with him, or having a neutral take.
You're essentially saying oh, it's good. Just ignore all the problems with launch games. No one should ever complain or demand better. Just pay money and shut the fuck up. No, that is completely contradictory to what we should be doing. We should be standing up for our rights as consumers. When we buy a game and it runs like shit at launch, we should be collectively getting together and we should be saying, no, we demand better. We paid you our money, now give us a quality product. Now, oh, just because you're a big game studio like EA, oh, well, you'll fix it in 3 months, right? No.
That's the thing with modern gaming, Phil. They'll put out a product to make sure that their stockholders are satisfied. That way they can make money. It's all a monetary gain for them. Also, the whole thing of, oh, they just release a product and don't even care. Phil, they take into consideration what's going on with the product. If it's having bugs and glitches and they're seeing more and more reports of it, they will go into it. They will upload a update for it so that you could download it onto your console of choice to make sure that you have a better experience, or they could add more content to it. Like I said, it's all monetary, but they do care. As much as corporations can be heartless at times.
No, we paid it. You know, you need to freaking give us exactly what we want, right?
But that's the thing though, Phil. Different people have different things that they want. You just want your money. That's all you care about. You just want money, money, money. And to have your opinion without people shitting on you. Congratulations, you got none of that.
So, I don't know. And the thing is, you know, perhaps it's bullshit. Maybe he was joking. Maybe he was. I don't know. You know, I didn't watch him play it on his stream. But it's kind of silly to make a tweet like that.
Okay, so you think that he's joking, then why go after him then? Why start drama with DrDisRespect? Why bring him up in the first place in a negative light? That's the whole thing with you, Phil. You're like, oh, DrDisRespect, he needs to shut the fuck up. Oh, but he might be joking. I don't know. You could have just said that he made a tweet. I'm not sure if it's a joke or not. Show the tweet and have your chat decide for themselves. If they say he is, fine, you can go with that opinion. But if they say they're not, have a discussion with them. You know, make your streams more interactive that way. But no, it's the join the pig echo chamber. You have to listen to my opinion. My opinion's right. If you don't agree with my opinion, I'm going to either time you out or ban you. Unless you give me money.
Because even if it's a joke, it's a harmful joke. Because people will see that and think he's being serious. Wow, DrDisRespect says there's nothing wrong with this game. Now people might go buy it. You know?
Never said it. You're not very good at any of this, are you, Phil?
I just, again, it continues on.
Is stuttering Craig in your throat, Phil? Because you're stuttering quite a lot.
On with the line of irresponsibility. I hate to say it. This guy has shown a track record of irresponsibility with his actions over the years. You know, he kind of thinks that he can just do whatever he wants and everything's just a joke, right? No. When you have that level of popularity, you have to start treating yourself seriously and responsibly. And maybe even if it's a joke tweet, oh, it was a parody tweet. It's actually, I believe, the opposite. Then don't make the fucking tweet.
Hey, Phil, practice what you fucking preach. You did the exact same thing. You made a lot of tweets saying that, oh, these people are shills for playing State of Decay 2. But when that bit you in the ass, you immediately deleted the tweet and went, oh, I didn't elaborate what I said. What I meant to say was, and you put more bullshit into that tweet. And then later on, you blame depression on it. Also, you being responsible is an understatement because you're never responsible with your streams, with your content, like content as well as your money. Because it's clear as fucking day that you have no responsibility for yourself and for your own audience and for your wife for that matter when it comes to money. Because you seem to think that, oh, I got tips, better go to WWE Champions and get some Hulk Hogan's because that's all more important to you than anything else.
It's stupid. An outsider will see that tweet and be like, no, he's supporting the game. And like I said, reading the tweet, you'd think he has a partnership with EA or something, you know? So, it wasn't him, it was a few other people too. And again, maybe these are people trying to make sarcastic jokes about it, but I think that it's kind of more harmful than good. You shouldn't be doing that in today's modern day. You can't read sarcasm on the internet.
Yeah, but when you try to be sarcastic, it comes across as incredibly insulting. But agreed, you can't really convey sarcasm through text. But you seem to think that, oh, DrDisRespect did it, and he's more popular than these other content creators. I'm just going to go lash out on him because he did some shit in the past.
In a post, in a video, perhaps you can. If there was a whole long-form video and he was being tongue-in-cheek sarcastic, that's different than just a tweet.
Even if he did make a video about it, you would still think he's an asshole. Just stop pretending that, oh, I should care about the gaming community because this was a shitty product and we should stand up. Gamers rise up. Snort. So after he did that podcast, which honestly was boring except for the part where he tried to go after DrDisRespect for a tweet, he ended up staying on and doing his stupid reacts channel. You know, him going through a lot of channels like Internet Historian, which makes zero sense because those videos are old anyway. What's the point in bringing back content or reacting to content that's way past its dates? 3 years ago is too old for content. Just to be fair, that's too old. But that didn't stop him, and then he went on a story about himself, like he always tends to do.
I'll be honest, I've noticed that I don't think these are doing as well. Like both the Pro Jared and the Wings long-form events that we did the last couple of months didn't necessarily bring in that much attention. I mean, the views are okay on the on-demand videos, but I noticed the streams in particular didn't do that good. So I'm curious what'll happen today now that we're not doing this kind of drama content too. Will people support this and say, hey, I'm glad you're branching out and doing something different. You listen to us. We're not just doing drama. Or if this is like the third straight month where the stream doesn't do that well, maybe I got to think about maybe I do these only every other month.
Here's the problem with your Reacts channel, Phil. The reason why you did it is because you thought you could double dip and try to make more money by bringing in more memberships from your DSP gaming channel onto your Reacts channel. And the only reason why that the drama videos did well, aka Wings and Pro Jared, was because you've had issues with them in the past, preferably Pro Jared. But Wings, you just did it because, oh, I felt bad for Wings. Wings felt so, I just feel bad. He got shat on, just like me. And let me tell you about my time I just got shat on. Much to Wings' dismay when he saw that and he did not like the video. Plus, throughout the entirety of reacting to the documentary about Wings, even Wings was like, dude, shut up. Nobody cares. And he was laughing at your tactics for making the stream successful. It's like, dude, if Wings made more money than you on that stream, then good lord, you're doing something wrong.
Right? Maybe we scale back the long form reacts a little bit and we just focus on the show and reviews, and maybe I do more tier makers. Maybe I increase the frequency that I do tier makers.
Why are tier makers so important? People do tier makers as a thing to post on Twitter or to make silly AI president videos with it, or just have like something stupid. But you're doing it and you're taking it seriously, like, oh dude, I need to do these tier maker lists because that will bring in the moolah, that'll bring in my money and views and subscribers and memberships. And why is the views gone?
All right, let's see here. Ricky Zebra says, I have interesting facts to share today. Your vest streak was 276, but if we read that number backwards, it's 672, so he's a confirmed detractor.
Why did you have to make that stupid face and be like, did someone mention detractors? Should I ban him, chat? Should I ban him? He needs to be gone. He mentioned detractors. Why the fuck do you have to do that shit? Anytime he's trying to like make something silly or stupid or trying to make his content look better, he'll go to this stupid overlay which is like really half-assed and it looks like something out of the 90s. A culture that he claims to know and love but knows jack shit about. Phil, don't hurt your brain into that thought because it's just a stupid chat that someone gave you. Seriously, don't hurt your brain. It's going to make your dent in your head a lot worse.
It's funny, you guys still bring up the vest streak. I don't even think about that anymore. When was the last time we even had a vest twice in a row? I literally don't think about that stuff anymore. It's just not even like it never even comes to mind.
The reason why it doesn't come to mind anymore is because it ran its course. And yes, everyone that has seen your content, people that have reacted to your content, even the big people that reacted to you about the vest streak know how bullshit or how much bullshit that is. Essentially, You went into your fucking closet, you pulled out your vest like, oh, I wore this as when I did the review, guys. Look at this. And then someone told you, hey, why don't you put it on? And you had the brilliant idea to make that into a monetary gain. You know, because fuck the titty streamers on Twitch that decide to take off their clothes. Oh, you can dress me up as a shitty Ken doll. And people bought it. They bought that goddamn thing, and you got about $20,000 based off the vest alone. And then I think it was like either the beginning or at the end of Paper Mario Origami King. That's when it died, and you never looked back, but you still kept it as like a goal for tips. The reason why he doesn't really remember stories is because a pathological liar will always make up a new story, but can never go back to a story that he fabricated originally. Instead, he'll try to remember said fabrication, but it doesn't really end in his favor.
But you guys still bring it up like it's some big deal, right? Clyde?
Yeah, we bring it up like it's a big fucking deal, because that's how you scammed people out of $20,000. You thought that was meaningful? Yeah, you make profit off of it. Good for you, that 1 year in 2020, when the pandemic was going on.
It says the vest streaks always made the last 15-20 minutes of your streams funny at night. But yeah, because there were some times that we'd have like no tips at all on a stream, and then people would be like, oh my god, is the vest streak going to continue? And then all of a sudden someone would come in with like $100 bomb tip, and then the vest streak would continue. Went on for a while. It was very, you know what? That was so helpful, because let me tell you, that was the year that I was going through my bankruptcy and everything was falling apart. And if I didn't have that support for those few months, I don't know how I would have like afforded anything. I'm really grateful for that, guys. I mean, since then, obviously things are different. You know, a lot of things have changed. I'm not even on Twitch anymore, and a lot of things have adjusted. But it's all good.
Not really. It's not good anymore. Now you're still bitching and complaining that you're not making enough money. Plus, like I said before, it wasn't the fact that you were going through your bankruptcy. It was the fact that it was going through the pandemic when COVID was still around. That was when it kind of really got bad, though, because a lot of people were trying to fight to get a job because most of the people were laying people off. Or they decided to self-quarantine themselves, which was not the best idea for some people, but to each their own, I suppose. But in the case of Phil, that's how he got like the biggest scam out of it, and that's how he spent all of his money on frivolous shit, polls and WWE champions that he refused to talk about until he got exposed. Same thing with all the fucking video games that he could buy, all the DoorDash that he could buy, the gin, stuff for his cat. That's the only thing that he used the money for. He spends way too much money, and as soon as he saw that money was pouring on in, that's when the greed set in.
Before any price hikes. I mean, you're right. It was before the freaking... That was before...
Also, when the fuck did he become Megamind? Oh no! Alien Phil! Oh no, he alien.
Well, that was during COVID, right? It was 2020. So it was during COVID, but it was before inflation. Yeah.
Yeah, it was during COVID and people were trying to find jobs, but you didn't care. As long as you were making money, why the fuck should you matter? Also, who was calling me?
Happy Sunday to you, Derek. It's good to have you here today.
Oh god, not Derek or Derish. God, so many things that I could say about him, but it would be way too much. That being said, has already covered him as well as many, many other content creators. Yeah, go check out That Being Said podcast as well as Chill Murray. They always talk about him.
New Jack says, who did the biggest bomb ever? That I don't know. I don't see. Here's the thing. I don't document this stuff. Nor do I really remember. I don't really think about it or remember it. Like someone said, what's the biggest tip you ever got? I don't know. What's the biggest amount of gifted memberships I ever got?
I remember that the biggest member bomb that you got was about 100 members, but then those dropped like that, and they never renewed it. As well as your biggest tip, it was close to about, I think it was like close to $300. And that was back when you were saying that, oh, my shower's broken. I need to get the shower fixed, guys. And as soon as you got that money, you went right back to begging the very next day. Someone called you out on it, and you banned them.
I don't know. I don't remember any of this, you know. What's the biggest amount of gifted subs I had on Twitch? I don't know. I really don't remember. It's not something, I think about the future. I don't dwell on the past, you know what I'm saying?
No, you dwell in the past plenty, because anytime something comes up, you'll be like, when I was a boy, I used to work for a helicopter company. God, I'm making him sound like Kingpin, and that's not good.
No, I know for a fact I've had bigger than $1,000 tip. I know I have. I think I remember, at some point, I think I remember 2,000.
Oh, no, I remember this. No, you were given $1,000 behind the scenes because someone showed up late and gave you $1,000 when you were trying to bring positive news, which became the $2,000 cat DLC meme. You know, free 2KJ, essentially. Now I remember. Thank you, Phil. Thank you. You actually jogged this old memory of mine of 31 years.
If not even bigger than that, but I can't remember the circumstances around it. Like I said, I don't.
It was your fucking playing Mario 64, and you said if you reach $1,000, you would have positive news, and it was a fucking cat. Yeah, I remember it, Phil. It's a Gundam remembers it. Chill Murray remembers it. Everybody that has covered you for years remembers the fucking cat. But yet, your old fart memory doesn't even remember it. Come on.
I don't think or document those things. Well, maybe start uploading to YouTube. Honestly, it was just kind of boredom. There was a point where I had a really bad back injury, and I used to be an avid Street Fighter player. I used to travel to go to these tournaments and everything. But basically, I got to a point where I couldn't do it anymore. And I was looking for a new hobby to get into console gaming. And I had seen that people had been making videos for YouTube, but none of them really had like personality to them. It was more like someone very dry talking a walkthrough on how to beat a game. A lot of them didn't have a commentary at all. It was just someone playing a game, raw gameplay. And I was like, I feel like I could add something here. If I did a video and I commentated over what I was doing, and I just kind of messed around with it because I was bored, I had nothing to do. It was like something I was looking to do. You know, I didn't think it was ever going to take off, and it blew up. It literally blew up on YouTube for what reason, I have no clue.
I'll actually give him some kudos. The boredom part, I can kind of believe that. But him saying that, oh, they were making video game content, but none of them had personality. I can give you at least a few fucking names that had personality. Slow Beef, Proton John, Chunka Conroy, Nintendo Capri Sun, fucking Diabetes. All those people had personality. Hell, even the ones that Retsupre had made fun of had more personality than you. And the ones that didn't have commentary to it, Phil, what if they were just doing a walkthrough of the game? Like you said, they were probably doing a walkthrough showing, hey, here's how you can get the secret for Super Mario RPG. This is how you get the secret for Yoshi's Island. That type of shit. But no, you seem to think that, oh, everyone was too dry and I was better because I used the word playthrough in my videos. Sure, you claim to be one of the forefathers when there are many people way before you.
I don't know, but it did. People really liked it. I appreciated that they did, and then, you know, that channel, the original Dark Side Phil channel, got more popular over the course of a year. I started to take it more seriously, buy games, and cover them. But really, it's just never anything intent. I didn't go into it saying, oh, this is something that I want to do as a job, or this is something I think I can make money on. It never was that. And
Yes, you did. You told them to click on the ads on the video so you can make a little extra money because you bought a condo and you bought a lot of games and a lot of equipment for it. So you tried to make some extra money on it. Once you two found out, they got rid of your AdSense. So you made a second channel, which was DSP Gaming, which took off even more because you were partnered with Machinima. Actually, no, I think you were partnered with someone else, and then it was Machinima. I don't know. I forget the story. I'm an old man myself. 31 years. Jesus Christ. The lore is just so much to handle.
I actually did it for 2.5 years before I ever put any ads on my videos. So it was just a hobby that I made no money doing. Mr. Manning did a super chat saying that his girlfriend has a crush on me and he should cosplay as me. That would be incredibly disturbing.
I will actually agree with that. Thank you, Phil. I was just about to say that very same thing.
I don't think you should do that, Dexter. I think that, you know. And by the way, I'm not sure that your girlfriend would appreciate you saying something publicly like that. She might be very embarrassed now.
It could be a joke, Phil. You never know. But who the fuck would want to cosplay as Darkside Phil? I mean, seriously. Not as a joke, but who would seriously want to cosplay as Darkside Phil?
So Lily said, sadly, you lost some of your level 1 podcasts forever, especially because they were the first time with the intro. Yeah, I know. What can you do? That's how YouTube works. YouTube granting false strikes without vetting anything because it's idiotic and it's automated and it's stupid. I also like how they lie and they claim that we vetted those. You didn't vet anything. You literally didn't vet a thing because all you got to do is listen and you would know that's not even the song being used in the video, but you didn't vet, you know.
I didn't think he would bring that up again. Phil, it was the song used. It was the beat. And the reason why it hadn't been vetted yet is because it takes a process to go through. It takes about 7 to 14 business days for it to go through. Once they finally figure out that, hey, this is fake, then they can fucking drop it and you're in the clear. Then you can go do victory laps around the fucking house and then pass out to the half one. Come on, Phil. The sad thing is that he knows that in order to get success and in order to bring in traction to his channel, he has to talk about drama and he has to instigate it with a popular content creator. I'll give him some balls on him that he actually called out said content creator. But then again, he's had issues with that content creator in the past. As for his level 1 podcast, it's boring. As for the DSP reacts when he's bringing up the vest streak, it shows really well that for a pathological liar, he'll keep constantly changing the story and forgetting what the story was in the first place. Kind of like a weird form of dementia, but not really. As for him talking about YouTube again, he just needs to stop bringing that up, because once he brings that up more and more, it'll just cause him stress, which that might not be the best way to handle the situation. All I can really say to Phil for the YouTube stuff is just be patient. It'll drop eventually.